Hello there everyone, today we're going to do this. This is a small salmon and sea trout fly. This is called the Nutria fly and is basically a fly designed for some low water conditions for both salmon and sea trout. You can of course variate this in all the colors you would like, and of course you can find all the materials for this fly on flytying.eu. And if you haven't done so already, I would be very pleased if you would subscribe to my channel to see more videos. So basically I'm gonna pull this off and start a new one. I'm gonna take my tube here, and then I'm gonna melt a small portion of this so I get a small bump on the tube. Cut off in the appropriate length, like so. I need to melt a bit more. I know, Paul, you told me what it's called, but I've forgotten now. I'm sorry about that. Sean, you told me what it was. I'm sorry about that. Sean Maloney. Let me know again. I can't seem to find if I can't find your comment. So then I'm gonna add my thread, and this is a Vivus 15.0 Dinya GSP thread. The thread I think is the best. Then I'm gonna take a small hackle, and of course you can get some nice mesh packages, and those are relatively cheap if you want to tie not that many flies. But the best way is always to get a full cape or a full saddle. So I'm gonna strip down the feathers here, all the woolly stuff, and then I'm gonna tie this in the tip of the feather here. So basically what I'm gonna do is like this, fold the feather back, and then you can see it has the curve here. I'm gonna tie it so the curve is facing down. This is the top side of the feather. That's gonna face towards me, or upwards, or whatever. I'm just used to tying it this way, so it's facing me. I'm gonna apply some pressure to make sure it stays there, and then I'm going to show you a neat trick. This is a new tool from Futurefly. This is called the Futurefly Hackle tool, and this is really awesome because it has these this end here has kind of like a groove inside it, so you can basically just take here and then put some pressure on your hackle with this and force your hackle to be facing the right way. Like so. And what this does is it forces all the hackle fibers to be pre-arranged backwards, which will make it fell off. Great. I'm just gonna go a bit back and tie this in once more, because my hackle broke. Sometimes things like that happen, like this. So there you go. But as you saw, all the hackle fibers were facing backwards and prearranged, so that when you turn this hackle, you will get you will have a much easier time of actually having your hackle facing the way that you want it to be. Like so. There you go. I'm gonna tie this down. And there we have it. And now the hackle is facing the right way. Then I'm gonna take the next thing, that is the piece of fur that has given name to this fly. This is some Nutria Hair, and what this is actually quite cool. It has some rather stiffer hairs on it, and some very woolly part. It's not the woolly part that we need. We need these coarser, more stiff hairs. And when you tie these, they're gonna help you. And they're gonna help the wing to actually be facing up into the current. I'm just gonna take out all this woolly crap. We don't need that. But then I have here some longer, coarser hairs that are fairly stiff, and they will help support the wing and keep it up in the current where it will move. So basically I'm going to take this, I'm going to spread it out a bit with my fingers, and I'm going to tie these down on top of my tube here. So they're going to be on the top of the tube. Like so. Then I'm going to raise them a bit. Like that. So you can see they're spread out all the way on the upper side of the tube, and they will help keep your the next wing in place. Gonna cut off all these. We don't need those. Like so. So basically, they're there to support, but also to move different from the Arctic fox that we're gonna use on the rest of this fly as the second wing. Cutting everything cleanly off. There we go. Then I'm gonna take a bit of dubbing. This is fluorescent yellow Flashaboo dubbing to give a bit of spark here to the fly. We don't need a lot, just a little to basically cover up the thread we used to tie down the nutria, like so. Just a small bundle here, and then I'm gonna make a whip finish because I need to add a bit of weight to the fly, like this. And the easiest way to add weight is simply to add a small bead. So I'm going to add a golden metallic bead to this fly right there. Still have the hackle and the nutria. Like so. And then I'm going to attach the thread once more. The next thing we need is the second wing, which is gonna be Arctic fox. You can use all kinds. You can use marble fox. You can use tanuki. You can use whatever you have for this, and in whatever color scheme you like. But I think for this one, I'm gonna use on the Kola Peninsula and also in some of the Danish rivers. The sunburst is a great color. So I'm gonna take a wing of Arctic fox, and I just removed some of the longest feathers and fibers, some of the longest hairs, and I also remove all the very woolen lower part of the hair here. This is kind of a good way to prep. You can, if you have one, then a comb is nice for this as well. So now I have a more uniform wing, and this wing is gonna be placed just here, and it's gonna be almost as long as the nutria, but not completely as long. Again on top here. Like so. And now I know this fly looks rather strange. But it will all come together, trust me. Cutting off my leftover Arctic fox here. Again, a nice pair of scissors really helps you a long way. Then I'm gonna add a small amount of wing and flesh, which is a nice material to add a bit of shine to the wing. Not that much. Here is about 4 or 5 strands of material, something like that, just to give it a bit of shine to the wing here. Like that. And then I'm gonna take a second hackle, again in yellow. Sunburst is also nice, I think, but I'm gonna add the yellow, and I'm gonna do exactly the same thing as I did with the first one, except hopefully for all the messing around with the hackle breaking. So add that here, and I do this on top of where I placed the Arctic fox. Then I take my Future Fly tool again, force all the fibers to be on the underside here. So it really is a great little tool. This new Futurefly one. It's very inexpensive, and it's a tool that I really have come to love. So then I'm gonna turn my Hackle here. And note that I tie the Hackle on top of where I placed the Arctic fox. And then I take one or two of the last turns I tie in front of where I placed the Arctic fox. This will make it easier for me to have a fly that has the right proportions and looks great. Because I will not have too big of a head on this fly, like so. The last thing we need to add here is a small jungle cock, and I'm very grateful that Pro Sportsfisher made these. These are XXX small jungle cocks, artificial jungle cocks. Really great for flies like this, and the size that I have been really have urged him to make. He's from Denmark. Pro Sportsfisher is a Danish company, and these artificial jungle cock are by far the best artificial jungle cock I have ever seen. So a nice product, and now nice that it now is available in a size that really is good. It's simply just a lot of jungle cock on a sheet here, and you can simply just they are pre-cut, as I hope you can see. So it's basically just the tip there you need to cut out with the tip of your scissors, and you're good to go. So I take one of these and place it on your side. About there, I think, will be the right angle, like that. And then I'm gonna do the other one on the other side. This adds a bit of contrast and really makes the fly come together and look great. Like so. I'm gonna do my whip finish without getting too much of the feathers entangled. Like that. I'm gonna cut off the jungle cock as close to where I tied them as possible, like so. And now I'm gonna show you another trick with the Futurefly Hackle tool. Just gonna add a bit of super glue. You can use varnish as well, but super glue is the best for this, because we're gonna add a small disc to this fly to give it the finishing touch. So basically, I'm gonna take a small disc here, also in metallic yellow, and I'm gonna push that over there. And then if you look at the Futurefly tool, there is a hole in the end of this, and the hole is designed to fit over the tube, so you can push this as far back as you need to, like so, and it now has latched onto the the super glue. Really comes together and looks nice. There's a bit of these flash strands that is a bit too long, so I'm just gonna trim those, like so. But also the tool, the reason why I've left it here is because a lot of the time when you tie tube flies, you have the problem of mangling the fly when you try to push this back off the hook. But if you leave it there and simply just angle it like this, you can very easily and without damage to the fly, you can pull your fly off your tube vise, which is something that is quite neat. Then I'm gonna cut off the tube here, so I can melt the last part. Needs a bit more, I think. Like so. I have a sore on my fingers from pike strikes, and that hurts quite a bit. So before I jammed the needle inside, that hurt a bit. But there you have it, the Nutria fly. Pretty awesome pattern. Well, cool. Thanks for watching.